Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural podcast of On the Mic with Metha. I'm joined by the head of live coverage at WrestlingNewsSource.com, Elio Cannella. Elio, how are you?
I'm doing good.
What did you think of the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view that was broadcasted this last Sunday on the WWE Network? Did you like the show?
That was one of the better shows that WWE had in a while.
What was your favorite match?
I liked the Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar match, and the ambulance match was pretty good. I was disappointed in the women's championship match because that ended in a count out. I thought that one would be better than it was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand the count out ending, the count out finish, to be honest, unless they are doing a return match, maybe at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. But otherwise,
I did like what Alexa did in that one spot where she like made it look like her arm had been pulled out.
yeah, she's double jointed, isn't she?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty. I was freaking out. I thought that was for real. When I
No,
saw that was pretty good.
yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, it's not normal for people to you don't see that in wrestling nowadays. With
No.
people because people can't do that. Usually when your arm is in that position, it's broken.
Right. Yeah.
So, but what do you think about the controversy or the dislike, I should say, of fans from the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar match? I don't understand that, to be honest.
I don't understand. I don't know what people expect from that. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with that match. I thought it was pretty good. It went the way it was supposed to go. And that's just leading to a rematch at the next pay-per-view, which will probably be a three-way.
Right. I mean, Samoa Joe attacked Brock Lesnar before the ring introductions had even finished.
Right.
So, and it was brilliant because you don't expect that. Normally, the ring introductions happen, and then the match starts, and then you go from there. But he attacked him straight away and put him through the announce table, nonetheless.
I know that right from the beginning, right from the start. That was like when he put Lesnar through the table. I'm like, wow, they already destroyed the announce table at the beginning.
Exactly. It was brilliant, and I loved the kind of viciousness that match had. But I think where the controversy is, or the confusion is that Lesnar delivered one F5 to Samoa Joe and beat
right.
and won. I think that's where the confusion was.
Yeah, but Joe had Lesnar too. You see when he put the coquina clutch on him, Lesnar's face turned red.
Exactly, absolutely. I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
No one's ever done that to Brock.
No, ever since Brock Lesnar has been in this company, since he returned in 2012, he's had this aura of invincibility about him, where if you go up against him, you lose straight away.
Wait, oh my God, 2012! It's already been 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Wow.
Because he returned.
I remember he returned the night after WrestleMania, where he F5 John Cena.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I loved that. I loved that return. I loved.
I just can't believe it's been that long. He's been back that long.
But what do you think about his run in this company now?
I like this run much better than his last one that they had.
Why?
Back then he was like still new, like, and he still had a lot to learn, like as far as like like his in-ring work, and like when he injured Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19 with that moonsault off the ropes.
Yeah, that was.
And then fast forward to 2004 WrestleMania 20, him and Goldberg. That was a train wreck.
That was a debacle. That was quite possibly. I've never been one to forward up any wrestling under any circumstances, but that match against Goldberg, the first one at WrestleMania 20, that was terrible.
And the fans let them know it too.
Right.
With all the swearing and stuff, and Lesnar gave the fans the double fingers.
But he went on Austin's podcast afterwards and said that that middle fingers wasn't to the fans, and it was to Vince.
Right. See, that's why I think this run is much better because now he's older and he knows more. That's why I think this run is working a lot better.
Right. And what did you think about the Roman Reigns Braun Strowman ambulance match? That was a fight. That was just a brawl.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be a double turn from what I read on online, and that they said that WWE messed it up the night after on Raw.
How?
Because they hardly mentioned Strowman. They just said that he was in a hospital like with injuries, and that's about it. They made no more mention of him other than he was in the hospital.
Because I was under the impression, just from the way that match went, that Strowman and Reigns were supposed to be like an Austin Bret Hart type of switch.
Yes.
Where, back at WrestleMania 13, when Austin and Bret Hart pretty much switched characters within the match. Yes. So it was. But do you see a babyface run in Strowman?
People are gonna cheer him. People are cheering him anyways. But I think if they cheer him, I think it can work. People are already cheering him.
But people just cheer him because he beats up Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't understand all this hate for Roman Reigns.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that either, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But I think the match with Strowman and Reigns, I think that was one of the best match of the night, personally.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And the spot at the end where Roman Reigns crashed the ambulance into a truck, that was completely unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen there, and then I'm like, oh, this is Attitude Era style writing.
Right exactly. There. This is you don't see that nowadays in WWE anymore.
But what I don't understand is they focused on the back area, but yet they sent Kurt Hawkins and Heath Slater out to the ring, but they didn't show it.
I don't understand that. Match. I don't understand that because okay, fair enough. If you're gonna have a backstage segment, right, and you're gonna keep it going, just show the backstage. Don't have the match. Scrap the match.
Yeah, like
forget the match.
They just wasted them because that was pretty much the co-main event of the show right there, and they didn't even show them. They weren't even on camera except for their entrances.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna have, that's the epitome of a filler match. If you're gonna have Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman be the focus, keep them the focus.
Right.
Of that segment. Don't bring other people in when you're not going to show them.
It's not like the fans were bored anyways. They could see everything on the big screen.
Exactly. It's I just don't understand why they did that. I don't understand why they had that segment with Hawkins, because it devalues the other guys as well.
Yep.
It devalues them because if I'm gonna have a match, I want people to focus on my match,
right,
and not what's going on backstage,
right.
So it was an error in judgment, I think, of WWE.
Like, I mean, I don't think it made a difference to the live audience because they got to see the match, but we didn't get to see anything.
Exactly. You're supposed the matches, whatever they are, they're supposed to be featured and they're supposed to be shown, obviously.
Or if you really wanted to focus on Strowman and Reigns, do a split screen, like one camera focused in the arena and one focused backstage.
Oh, but you could have done, but why bother? If Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman was supposed to be the focus of that story, of that segment, make them the focus.
Right.
Don't have other people come in,
Right.
I think back to when Stone Cold got run over, and that took up like 10, 15 minutes of the segment.
Oh, that was when Rikishi did it for The Rock.
Yeah, but if you think back to the Survivor Series when that actually happened,
right?
When he got run over, they didn't start another match until he was taken away in an ambulance.
Oh man, I should go back and watch that one. That was one that I didn't really get to see in its entirety.
So what happened was Austin got run over,
right?
And they had, when the EMTs were working on him, the focus was on Stone Cold completely. There was no other matches. There was anything else. There was nothing else going on.
Right.
When Austin got taken away in the ambulance, then the other matches started. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So
what was that show again? Survivor Series
1999.
Okay. All right, 99. Okay. Yeah, I guess I missed a lot of the stuff in 99 too.
Yeah. If you go on the network, you could find it, but that's
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see that one.
But I mean, that's what you should do. Let one segment finish and then start the rest of the show.
Right.
But I don't understand why they did that. What do you think about the Kurt Angle storyline for next week?
I really want to know what's going on there, and I want to know what Corey Graves' involvement in this whole thing is. Like he always seems to be pulled away from commentary. They go backstage. I just want to know what's up with this.
Yeah, I mean, Corey Graves. I think. Hey, I like him as a commentator. Right. I enjoy his work. I enjoy his chemistry with Michael Cole. I think that's great. I don't really like Booker T on commentary, but that's another story.
No, I'm not a fan of Booker T on commentary.
No, he's not terrible, but I prefer Byron Saxton.
Right.
I prefer Byron. But yeah, with Corey Graves, his talent on commentary, in my opinion, are wasted, quite frankly.
Right.
Because I think, okay, we know he can't wrestle anymore. Fair enough, fine. But have him be.
What did happen to him? I don't think I was watching around that time because I don't think we got NXT here.
I think, from what I'm aware of, he had a series of concussions.
Okay.
And the WWE medical team did not clear him anymore to wrestle. That's my understanding of it.
Oh, okay.
So Triple H, who's in charge of NXT, as you know, said, look, we can have you on the commentary team.
Right. Okay.
So that's, as far as I know, that's what happened.
Okay.
But yeah, I think his talent as a commentator could be, he's not terrible as a commentator, but it could be better used.
Right.
Maybe he could manage Big Cass because Cass turned heel anyway.
Yeah, but see, when he was like involved with that whole Enzo Cass thing a couple of weeks back,
exactly,
it made him look like a face because he's the one that exposed like Cass as the one who attacked Enzo.
But he didn't. But I can see your point of view, but I have to disagree with you there because he wasn't ashamed of Cass when he did it, when Cass was exposed. He just exposed him. He was the one that said Cass did it. But there was no anger, there was no hatred. So my point is that he could still be a manager, a heel manager to Cass in this storyline, and it would still work.
Actually, I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook, Pat the Brat Piper. Like he was talking about, he posted about this on his Facebook, and I had commented how I could see them putting Corey Graves with Cass as in the managerial role.
Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, that should happen because Corey Graves does not need to get involved in the match, does not need to get involved in any physically involved in any storylines to make that work. It doesn't need to happen. But he can still be a part of Cass's career and make him bigger,
Yeah. He could be the Big Cass's he could be to Cass what Paul Heyman's is to Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. Paul Heyman to Brock Lesnar, that combination of Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, that's money. You have to admit that.
Right.
So that him and Big Cass, Corey Graves and Big Cass could work well and in all likelihood should work.
Right.
And I don't really have a problem with that. Switching gears now to SmackDown. What did you think about AJ Styles and Kevin Owens match at Madison Square Garden, and where Styles beat him, and it was non-televised?
Well, when I read that, that was a surprise. When I read that on Facebook on the website, because I wasn't expecting because what we already knew was that there was going to be a U.S. Championship match with Kevin Owens defending against AJ Styles at Battleground, but now it's the other way around.
Yeah,
So
because
that was a surprise. That was like Edge winning the Intercontinental Championship in Toronto back in '99.
Right. I mean, Madison Square Garden has always, in my opinion at least, defined the WWE in terms of it's the heart of New York City, and WWE's monopolized that area when it first started,
right?
With Bruno Sammartino and all those guys. But
Yeah.
I don't see the logic of putting a championship changing hands. I don't see the logic of putting that on a non-televised event.
Right. Like, and they didn't even show it on TV. They just mentioned it on SmackDown, didn't they?
Exactly.
See, like, it's one thing if you're gonna show like footage from what happened.
Yeah.
But they didn't even show anything. They just made mention of it.
It was just like they just mentioned it. They just said, "Oh, AJ Styles beat Kevin Owens at Madison Square Garden as the new United States champion," and then they just went, show the clip where he pinned him or he did or whatever happened. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't understand that. What do you think about Jinder Mahal as WWE champion?
I think this is the best run Jinder Mahal has had since he's been with the company. In 3MB, I didn't really like him too much as part of 3MB. I like this run much better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
they're making him like the strongest he's been.
Exactly, and you know what? It works. People are buying into it.
Right.
It's not like they're trying to push him and people just aren't accepting it. People are buying into it. People are hating him.
I've even noticed on the WNS Facebook group, the comments towards Mahal have started dying down. Well, they have died down.
Yeah, I mean, because people are accepting of the fact that, okay, he's got a new guy here, and he's, the WWE's got a new face of the company in some respect for SmackDown, and he's doing well. His promos are really good. His promos are getting better. He's got the Singh brothers to help him.
And I didn't even realize this. Like, I knew Jinder was Canadian, but I didn't know the Singh brothers were from Canada as well.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, because I was reading up on the Singh brothers. They were the Bollywood boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was reading about them. They're from Canada as well. I didn't even know that.
So,
wow.
The Bollywood boys or Singh brothers, they're not. They're Indian, but they're from Canada as well.
Indian heritage, but they're Canadian. Yes.
Right, I didn't know that. But I think as well. What do you think about them as valets or henchmen, as it's called, for Jinder Mahal?
They're actually, I like them. They're pretty good. I didn't really get to see them much on NXT because, like I said, NXT airs on Wednesday nights, and that's like kind of like an odd day, like for wrestling. It's not like a day you'd like mark down on your calendar as saying, "Well, tonight I have to watch tonight," right?
It's not a Raw or a SmackDown or a Sunday like a pay-per-view. It's right in the middle of the week.
Yeah, that's why it's not like something you would remember.
So I don't know. I think the Singh brothers and Jinder Mahal, I think that run should go very quickly. It should continue. But my fear is that as soon as he loses the championship, he will fade off into obscurity.
Yeah, that's that wouldn't be good because this has been such a strong push. I'd hate to see like him fade away like into the background.
Exactly. I mean, otherwise, what a waste of time for WWE. The time and effort that it took for Mahal to be built up into that character to just shoot it down as soon as he loses the championship. Because let's face it, right? WWE needs new stars. They need new faces.
Yep.
And Jinder Mahal fits the bill.
Right. Yes.
I mean, look at when he won the championship at Backlash. The shock on people's faces.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I was watching it, and then I think I messaged you because I didn't know if you had seen it, and then
Yeah.
you're like, I didn't even see it yet.
Yeah, because I was you were responsible for live coverage, right?
Right.
For WNS, and we'll talk about that in a
Right.
minute. But so you were doing live coverage of that show, and it was like 10 to 4 in the morning because I'm in the UK and we it's late for us over here. So it was
Right.
like 10 to 4 in the morning, and you messaged me, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, Jinder Mahal is WWE champion." I'm like, I woke up and I'm like, what? Did Elio really just say that? Jinder Mahal is WWE champion? So it was shocking. And
Oh my.
I think everybody online the next day, from what I've read and what I've seen, people had their reservations and they weren't sure how it was going to go, but it works.
Right.
It's brilliant. Going to WNS now, just for our listeners out there, what is your responsibility?
So basically, what I do is I started out covering Monday Night Raw. Occasionally, I cover Impact Wrestling. That was when I first started, and then I was moved to SmackDown. And then around 2012, the person that was supposed to cover the Royal Rumble backed out at the last minute, so they contacted me, and they liked my work on the Royal Rumble, that they had me cover every single pay-per-view, and then they could never really find anyone consistent to cover Monday Night Raw, so they put me on Raw as well. And then just recently I was moved to SmackDown, over to SmackDown.
Yeah, because I remember when I joined WrestlingNewsSource.com, you were on Raw, and I was on SmackDown,
right?
And now they moved me to NXT. So it's just so you weren't really supposed to be, you weren't permanent until they moved you.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You were not permanent on coverage until they moved you.
How do you mean, on Raw, or
so when you
just
did
in general?
so when you did because you weren't supposed to do the Royal Rumble back in 2012, right?
No, I wasn't supposed to. Right, yes, that's correct.
So talk me through that. So they called you to do the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and then for literally 5 minutes before 5 or 2 minutes before the show went on the air, they reached out to me.
So, and then afterwards they said what? They like your work, and then now you're...
Yeah, they like my Royal Rumble work. They said they want me covering every single pay-per-view. I'm like, okay, that works.
Every single pay-per-view?
Yeah, so like a Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and all the ones in between.
So you were working every show for just WWE or TNA as well?
I did a couple of TNA pay-per-views as well.
Wow. And you've been at WrestlingNewsSource.com for how long?
Since 2011. June 8th, 2011 was my first day.
Wow. And you're still going?
I'm still going, yeah.
Cool.
No, they won't let me go. I'm the one consistent person that's been there for the past 6 years.
Hey, you're a loyal soldier to WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Yeah.
So speaking of TNA, what do you think about the partnership, if you will, of Global Force Wrestling, which of course Jeff Jarrett owns, and TNA, because they've rebranded themselves, haven't they?
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. I gave up on TNA like long ago, because I got to see some of their programming, because up here they started airing it on a channel we get called Game TV. So I saw a couple of other programs, and it's nothing like it was when I was covering it.
Well, because I
like,
look,
it seems darker. Like the whole setup in the arena is just darker, and I'm not liking it as much as the early days.
No, I mean, because I agree with you because now I don't watch TNA. I did for a while Kurt
Right.
Angle was there, while Samoa Joe was there, AJ Styles. I enjoyed some of their programming because they had some really good matches and good stars. But
Right.
but I now I don't follow it because it's just dwindled, you know.
The one group that I never really understood what they were all about was that DCC group.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what that gimmick was all about.
yeah the DC3 or something. The DC3.
No, DCC Death Crew Council or something. I was
Oh,
reading.
that
Yeah.
must have been after I stopped watching then.
Yeah. They were like dressed in black. They came out dressed in black with white masks.
So were they kind of what Sanity is in NXT? Were they kind of like that or
similar to that? Yeah.
similar?
Actually,
Right.
what is Sanity's gimmick? Because I never really quite understood what they were.
So as far as I understand it, because I've started to watch NXT more now. So from what I understand, they are, or they want to rather, terrorize everyone in NXT.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So you've got Alexander Wolf, you've got Killian Dane,
Sawyer Fulton, right?
Right. You've got Killian Dane, you've got Eric Young,
and Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross as well. Eric Young is the leader, and and the other three are just his followers, basically, almost like how the Wyatt family was.
Right. Okay.
Right, and so that's basically what that was. But yeah, I don't have anything against TNA. I don't follow any other wrestling promotions outside of WWE because
I want them to do well, but they have to put work into it. They're not doing anything. The product they put out is just terrible.
Exactly, and I mean,
like literally, and I don't want to do this, but like I literally fell asleep when I was watching those few episodes.
That is like the cardinal sin of a wrestling fan, to fall asleep watching wrestling. That's just.
And I don't want to do that. I want them to be successful.
Because this is a phenomenal way to make a living. Is to be a wrestler. And any other company that, even besides WWE, any other company that you can get to and make a pretty good living out of it is good. It's good. And what do you think about the Page Alberto? I won't call him Del Rio. Alberto El Patron.
Right. I was just gonna say they were saying there's no plans to strip him of the championships.
Why? The man suspended.
I have no idea. I know he's been suspended, but apparently, according to Jeff Jarrett, he won't be stripped of his championships. I don't understand that.
But if they've suspended him, and rightfully so, pending the investigation, how is he supposed to? He can't be on TV.
Right. And whatever happens to that 30-day rule, you don't defend your title in 30 days, boom, that's it. You're stripped of it.
Well, because of Brock Lesnar being the Universal Champion and only working certain dates, I think that rule is abolished, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I think that rule is done. But even despite that, how can Alberto be champion and he's suspended? How does that work?
I have no idea. I've never really been a fan of his.
Yeah, you don't like him, do you?
I've never been a fan of his. There's just something about him.
Why?
I don't really know. Like I can't really pick out any one reason. There's just something about him. I don't know.
Is it his character or his promos or?
No, it's pretty much his character and like the way he's portrayed outside of wrestling. It's like he just seems like not a good person. You know, like when you're all excited to meet your heroes outside, and then finally you do, and they're nothing like what you imagined them to be.
Yeah, it's like you.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because I think with wrestling, you as fans, you automatically believe that these people are going to be in their real lives who you see on television.
Right.
And
then you meet them, and they're nothing like you imagine.
Exactly. And in his case, Alberto Del Rio is not like that. But I also am puzzled as to what WWE will decide to do with Paige.
Yeah, she's still under contract, isn't she?
She's still under contract, and
okay.
Okay, yes, she's had issues. I don't want to really talk too much about going into detail of what they are, but she's had issues.
Right.
But what she's had so much negative stuff broadcasted about her.
Right.
It would be a public relations nightmare for WWE to, in my opinion, keep her under contract.
But now, did you read the latest update? It said that Alberto was the one that was being investigated about beating her, but Paige has been saying that she's the one that's been investigated by the police or something.
See, this is what I mean. It's
so confusing.
Yeah, the whole situation is completely messed up and confusing, and you don't know who's right and who's wrong, and you don't know what's happening.
So, and then the so-called internet wrestling community doesn't help with their ridiculous comments.
Oh, I love WrestlingNewsSource.com, and I'm loyal to them but I do not like the fan group, because
the Facebook group. I even told the guys at Wrestling News Source, I'm like, we never needed a Facebook group in the past. I don't know why you created one now.
Because all it does, in my opinion, is get trolls.
Right.
And get people who don't want to be there, who just cause trouble for everybody, or else we wouldn't have we wouldn't need a ban log.
Right.
If that group hadn't caused trouble,
right,
then there would be no need for a ban log.
Right. Actually, literally, before you called me, I was on Facebook. They were already talking about how Battleground's going to be a boring pay-per-view.
I saw that.
I'm like, how do you know it's going to be boring when it hasn't even happened?
Because I was preparing for the show, and I was looking on the internet, and I see people saying, "Oh, Battleground's going to be the worst pay-per-view in the history of like." How do you know that exactly?
But I do have to say, WWE has had I like their choice of theme music for pay-per-views, but I heard the one they had for Battleground. I was listening to it last night on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's a group called Imagine Dragons, and it's called Whatever It Takes. I don't know how well this one fits, though.
Well, I think sometimes with the name of pay-per-views, WWE handcuff themselves.
Oh my God, the last one, Great Balls of Fire. No.
You mean the song, right?
The song. Oh my God. No.
Like the Great Balls of Fire was like in the 70s.
No, that was 1957. That song is 60 years old.
Wow, that's even worse than I thought. So, but having said that, and this is what I wanted to, we've got about 5 minutes left. This is what I wanted to end on. The Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, when people knew about the name and everything else, it just, people started criticizing it already. And in my opinion, at least, it ended up being one of the best shows of the year.
Right. Actually, when I first heard about it a couple of months ago, I was like, oh no, this has to be a joke. No, come on, they're not really gonna call people Great Balls of Fire. Come on.
Oh.
But no, it's no joke.
But it worked.
It did. It was one of the best pay-per-views they've had in a while.
Exactly. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Every match from that pay-per-view, Cass and Enzo and the tag team Iron Man match, which I know you're not a fan of, but it was a good match.
yeah, it was good. It was just like I'm not like that. The whole feud was was growing old.
The Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, I think that was a good match, and I was on the edge of my seat. I really was.
Oh, and I have to say, on Monday night on Raw, the Hardy Boys, when they came out to that promo, I was like, I was jumping out of my seat when they started doing the whole delete and they're broken and they have to fade away and classify themselves as obsolete.
Yeah,
I,
because
I was like jumping up and down. I'm like,
so
oh, come on, we need you.
judging by that promo, do you think that the broken gimmick will be brought to WWE?
Well, they keep teasing it. I think sooner or later they're gonna finally end up broken.
For those who don't, for our listeners who don't know, the broken gimmick was very popular in TNA.
It was so great. At first,
Impact.
yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say at first when they started doing the broken gimmick in TNA, I was like, oh, I don't know, how is this gonna work? I don't know. But then I started watching. I actually have the entire broken gimmick storyline on my computer. I downloaded it from YouTube.
But gimmicks like that work.
They do.
Because it depends on how it's presented and how it's brought across to the fans and how the fans respond to it as well.
Right.
Because I don't care how good of a promoter you are and how long you've been running for, and Vince McMahon will attest to this himself. If the fans do not buy into a gimmick or buy into a character, it's going to fail. It's going to fail.
Okay, now who does the broken gimmick belong to?
This is what I wanted to ask you because I'm not sure myself.
Because I thought it belonged to Matt Hardy. I thought he's the one that came up with it. Now Impact Wrestling saying, oh no, they own it. Anthem owns the rights to the gimmick. I don't understand.
Well, I was under the impression of the fact that it was Matt Hardy's idea, as he said,
right?
But TNA owns, or Impact owns, the trademark to the gimmick. Hence the legal battle with WWE. Because
now Dixie Carter could possibly appear on WWE television.
Oh my gosh, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I mean, so that's my understanding, that TNA owns or had owned the rights to that gimmick. But from what I've read on WNS recently, it appears that WWE have acquired the rights to that gimmick.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't. I didn't know what all was going on with that after.
Hence the more references to the broken gimmick on Raw.
Yeah, I was jumping up and down. I was jumping out of my seat Monday night.
I mean,
when they did that was so awesome.
It was awesome. It was really good. Switching gears now to the Kurt Angle documentary that was released after Raw on Monday night.
Oh, I still have to watch that because actually I got around to watching NXT last night before I went to sleep.
Yeah, wow, that documentary, I seriously recommend you watching that. That was one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most brilliant documentaries WWE has done in a long time.
Okay.
So I suggest you watch that. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is the fact that for the first time in history, Dixie Carter has appeared on WWE television.
I know, right? She's the Eric Bischoff of 2017. we never thought we'd see Eric Bischoff on WWE television, and yet in 2005 or whenever it was, we
2002.
finally saw 2002. Sorry, we finally saw him on WWE television.
I mean, that's the shock heard around the world in today's day and age.
Yeah.
And switching to Kurt Angle, what do you think his secret is? Because I've read, just before you answer this question, I've read reports online saying that it could be Dixie Carter, it could be Stephanie McMahon, it could be a number of people. What's your opinion?
Well, I read the same things. Some have said that it could lead to a Triple H Kurt Angle match at SummerSlam.
I would love to see that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I remember they had like a great feud back in the late '90s.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
who are you thinking? Who's your money on?
I want to say it's Stephanie McMahon because I really want to see that match
Yeah.
at the SummerSlam.
I would not be opposed to seeing. I don't disagree with you. I would not be opposed to seeing Dixie Carter either.
Someone posted on Facebook, what if they had a Dixie Carter invasion storyline?
Yes, I saw that.
How's that gonna work? Kurt Angle and Dixie Carter versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
How is logistically how's that gonna work?
Right. I don't think he can, because you can't have like global force invading WWE.
Exactly. So
and besides, we know how Jeff Jarrett feels about Vince McMahon.
they have Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon have issues like Jim Cornette and Vince Russo have issues. I don't think they're ever going to get solved. In my opinion.
We need to have Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon sit down at a table for 3.
I would watch that episode over and over again to see that. That would be brilliant. So you're saying, and I want to get this on the podcast now. You're saying that Dixie Carter, or no, you're saying Stephanie McMahon.
I'm saying Stephanie McMahon. Yes.
Will be revealed as Kurt Angle's love interest.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Finally, because we have about 5 minutes left, I want to get your opinion on Baron Corbin.
Oh, Baron Corbin. I wasn't a fan of Baron Corbin in the NXT version, but I am a fan of his SmackDown version.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I see, and tell me if you disagree, but I see money all over him.
Yeah, no, I can see him being world champion.
That gimmick of the rough, hard-nosed, vicious brawler of that Corbin has right now is money.
You think they could ever make him to ever turn him?
Turn him to what?
Well, he's a heel right now. You think they could ever turn him or
to a babyface? It depends. There's a lot of factors. It depends on how it's presented. It depends on how it works. You know, nobody ever thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin could be a heel, but they did it.
Right. Well, he was a heel when he first came in. He was the ringmaster.
No, I understand that, but I mean under the Stone Cold Steve Austin character.
Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah.
Nobody thought that the heel run of Stone Cold would work.
Right.
And it didn't. God. You were saying?
No, to say, oh my God, WrestleMania 17 when he was bashing the Rock with those repeated chair shots, and then he shook Vince McMahon's hand.
That was
so awesome.
Yeah, it was so. You know why it was awesome, as you just said, because it was unexpected.
Right.
No one
saw that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that he would shake Vince McMahon's hands, knowing the history that those characters went through. Nobody thought that would happen. Everybody thought that, oh my God.
Let me shake your hand there, Vince.
Yeah.
Well done, Austin.
Yeah. What are we seeing? You know, this is history.
Yeah.
So I'm back to Baron Corbin. I think that could work.
Right.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't.
Right.
He's got. I wouldn't have him in a tag team babyface run. I would have him a single.
No tag team for Corbin. He works out better alone.
Yeah, because I don't think it would work. Even in NXT, I don't think it worked.
Why was he put in tag team in NXT?
No, he was on his own. But But when he started, I thought that they could have put him in a tag team, but it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
So I think Corbin does have a babyface run in him, but I just think it depends on how they do it, and we'll see where it goes. He's also a Money in the Bank contract holder now.
Yep.
Do you see him becoming champion?
Yes.
And if so, against who?
Oh, well, I don't want him beating Jinder Mahal. I don't want that.
No.
if Jinder loses the belt, I want him to beat whoever takes the belt from Jinder Mahal.
Because I heard reports from The Observer and from WrestlingNewsSource.com that Jinder Mahal is planned that he would face John Cena at SummerSlam.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've been thinking about this. What if Jinder Mahal loses to Cena?
Right.
Cena becomes a 17-time world champion.
Right.
But before he gets to celebrate and everything else, before he leaves the ring, Baron Corbin comes out and cashes in his contract.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is the 30th anniversary of SummerSlam this year. They need something impactful. They need something, you know.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. The 30th anniversary, because the first SummerSlam was in 1988.
Well, this is the 30th SummerSlam. This is what they build it as.
That's WWE's counting.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds weird because it doesn't make sense. Because 2018 minus 30 is 1988.
So,
but what do I know? Well, I'm bad at math, anyways.
But no. So that's what they're building it as, is SummerSlam being the 30th anniversary of the show, and I think that would be a perfect way to kind of end it with a bang.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to see that one in Jinder Mahal and John Cena. That sounds like it could be a good match.
Finally, the Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns storyline, and of course, now we know that that Samoa Joe will face Roman Reigns next week on Raw, and the winner of that faces Brock Lesnar. Now, who do you see, or who do you want to win that match and face Brock Lesnar?
I want Samoa Joe to get his rematch.
Why?
Because Roman Reigns, we've already seen Roman Reigns as champion. I want to see Joe. I want to see a new face as champion. I want to see Samoa Joe as champion because he's a new face. Like no one's ever seen him with a WWE championship around his waist.
True, but I disagree with you slightly. Okay. I'm not saying that Samoa Joe shouldn't be in the match, but I'm saying, what if Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Braun Strowman be in the match as a fatal four-way?
Oh, yeah, because I was just gonna. That was gonna be my next comment. If they made it into a fatal four-way, then I'd have to change. Then I have to change my thought on that because I can see Strowman as champion as well.
I think it's inevitable that he would become champion. So that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see Strowman as champion as well.
Yeah, and I think whatever they decide to do, I think it would work because we know that Brock Lesnar's contract with the WWE is expiring after WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
So because he signed a 3-year deal that began at WrestleMania 31.
Right. Okay.
So WrestleMania 34 is in New Orleans, and as far as I know, he has no plans to re-sign.
Oh.
If that changes, I'm not sure. But as of now, he has no plans to re-sign.
Okay.
So they need to start building other characters, other faces.
Right. Yes.
Or other heels to take over that spot.
Right.
So I guess we'll see what happens.
They need to make a T-shirt that says "I'm not finished with you."
Hashtag I'm not finished with you plastered across the T-shirt, right?
I'd buy that.
I'd buy that too. Hey, Elio, unfortunately, my friend, we're out of time.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you for being on the show.
All right.
And for everyone else who's out there listening to this podcast, every Friday, myself and Elio will be here breaking down Raw, SmackDown, and the pay-per-views. And it will be uploaded to our On the Mic with Metha YouTube channel.
What about NXT? We can't forget NXT.
You want to do NXT? We'll do NXT.
Oh, I'm saying if you wanted to do NXT, I'm cool.
I'm weird. Okay, well you heard it here, folks. Elio says we're doing NXT too, so we're adding to that list. So, but every Friday we're gonna have episodes drop to our YouTube channel. So please check us out, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks, Elio. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.